textbook megalomania. It's a pathological state in which fantasies of control or omnipotence predominate. He wants control over him. He wants control over his actions, over his thoughts, even his emotions.
Sounds like you got a secret admirer, John.
Yeah, maybe you'll send me some flowers.
Everybody knows you like pansies.
It's not that kind of emotion. This guy is ugly.
How is that?
Nothing wrong with him a shower wouldn't cure. Beer is normally taken internally, John.
Just give me some aspirins, will you?
Yeah, okay. Hold this here.
This is Fred Schiller, John, and he's a...
The shrink, yeah, I get it.
Yes, I was saying that we're dealing with a megalomaniacal personality with possible paranoid schizophrenia.
Hey, how about we just skip down to the part where you tell me what the fuck this has to do with me, huh?
I don't know. I mean, what I do know is it does have specifically to do with you. This guy wants to pound on you till you crumble. He wants you to dance to his tune, and then...
Put on a dress and fuck me?
I was going to say, kill you. He's sitting on an awful lot of rage. And it could be manifested physically if he's stressed.
Somebody arrested, somebody pissed off.
Well, that could be one hell of a long list.
Fuck you, Joe.
You know, Matt, out of all Graham Greene's roles, I don't know why, but that character he played in Die Hard 3, it's always just stuck out with me. I'm not quite sure why. I was trying to figure out what to choose this week for the obituary. I was like, Windriver. The man did dozens of films, great work all the time. He's one of those character actors, when you saw him, you knew he's going to elevate. There's going to be something special, so. Chris Gauser here with...
Matt Howell.
This week on the first run, both Matt and I got what we wanted. First up, we're going to talk about the non-heist film that is Darren Aronofsky's latest film, Caught Stealing, featuring Elvis and Catwoman. Then Macon Blair's reboot of the classic Troma movie Toxic Avenger. In the can, Matt, since 2023, finally gets its theatrical release. Can it possibly improve upon the beloved B-movie masterpiece? All that and more on another Toxic, in a good way, episode of the first run. Matt, let's start everything off with a clip from, or like a something. There was like no clips online for this thing whatsoever. Yeah. So let's listen to this.
Such a nice small town boy. You like baseball, dogs.
I need you to take care of my cat.
Where's Russ?
He's not here. You know not to mess with us, yes?
What did you get me into?
They're scary monsters, and you're their fall guy.
That's not happening. Buckle your seatbelt.
Buckle your seatbelt, Matt. I know you've been excited about this one. I was unfamiliar with this property, this thing entirely. I know Darren Aronofsky, whose films I've enjoyed, except for The Whale, which I found almost offensive.
Right.
And what I think is funny, too, there's also seems to be this weird coming back around on Mother, a film that I actually thought was really interesting and good, and I enjoyed it. So I'm kind of like, some people come up, baby, I was on board from the get-go on that one.
They're lying. Nobody was on board except for Chris.
That's right.
And me a little bit.
So there seems to be, though, people coming back to it now, so I guess that's good. And, of course, we got Requiem for a Dream, Pi, The Fountain, The Wrestler, Black Swan, which I think is a great one as well. I confess I haven't seen Noah. So
yeah. I've seen enough of Noah to know that you don't need to see Noah.
Fair enough. So, Matt, talk to me. Why are you so excited to see Caught Stealing? What is it about? What's up?
Sure. Yeah, so it's basically about a guy named Hank Thompson. He is had his baseball dreams cut short, and he decides to cat sit for his neighbor Russ. Comes back home one day after working at a bar, and he finds that a couple of guys are looking for Russ, and they want something that he has. They kick the crap out of him, put him in the hospital, and then more and more characters come looking for Russ and what he may have. That kind of unravels as far as what are they looking for and how does it play into Hank.
Okay.
That's basically it without giving away too much. I really was excited to see this because I read this book very, very early days. It's by a guy named Charlie Houston. He writes a lot of what he likes to call neo-pulp type books, things that are very kind of hard-boiled and violent, and I really enjoy him. I think he's pretty fun. He also wrote for Moon Knight for a really long time, and
Oh, like Moon Knight, like where's my money, Dracula?
Exactly. Yeah. Where's my money, Dracula? You nerd. Yeah, that Moon Knight. Yes, he wrote for him for a very long time. And when ebooks came out, I downloaded an ebook app, and this book, along with the 2 sequels that follow it, were on it. So I read it for free, and I had a great time with it. I really enjoyed it, and therefore I was really looking forward to, checking this out, because it was a little bit of serendipity, and I had a good time with the book, so I was hoping I'd have a good time with this film.
Well, did you?
Yeah, overall I did. Yeah. I think any complaints that I have about the changes to the source material would come down to the fact that it was actually, the screenplay was written by Charlie Houston, right? So the guy who wrote the book, so he decided to make those changes, so who am I to say that they shouldn't? I will say, the movie is a lot darker than maybe the trailers let on, but the book is even darker than that, and is even more. Yeah, it's still pretty funny in spots, but it is a lot darker. It's a lot more violent, and Hank takes more of an active role in some of those in getting his revenge on people. So it's all kind of segues into the next one. Now, this thing is not doing very well, so I'm sure we're not going to get any more of the Hank Thompson trilogy, but overall, I thought it was a pretty fun time.
Yeah, I think that may be why I struggled with it, because the trailers cut it to appear to be this kind of just rollicking, kind of fun adventure crime heist film, and that's really not what it is. It's almost an anti-heist film in a way, because it's not really what's happened here. It's kind of more of a oopsie doopsie type of thing, right? As the kids say. But yeah, I struggled with how dark it is at times, right? I think that Butler and Kravitz, have real chemistry in this film. And I think then the turn the relationship takes with that is just mean. And I appreciate that it escalates the stakes, I guess, but it feels just very, I don't know. I feel like Aronofsky kind of fumbles that. Yeah. Or maybe my problem is I had this preconceived notion in my head about the film I was going to get from the trailer that I saw every week for like 2 months. And it's just the emotional impact of it didn't really hit. Like, I didn't feel bad for certain events that happen in the film. I just felt like, oh, that's just mean, right? It's the same kind of, similarly the same feeling I had with a drastically different film and a far inferior film. It's Halloween 2, Rob Zombie's Halloween 2. That film's just mean, right? And I felt like that way here, and it's just, maybe I'm just, because I had this different expectation, and maybe that's not entirely fair to lay against Aronofsky's feet. It just didn't work for me, because the darkness of this film. I never emotionally connected with Butler either. Right. I don't know, how does he fit the archetype, at least the character from the book? Did he kind of fit how you imagine him?
Yeah, so I think, well, not to give too much away, and I guess the main critique I have with the film is they kind of lay out this version of the Hank Thompson character as overall a decent person, right? He doesn't really get any kind of revenge directly, except maybe towards the end, and it's done in a very certain different way. Whereas in the book, he kind of is the wrong man archetype that gets pushed too far, and then like he goes on like a killing spree, basically taking his revenge on everybody, right? And he's directly responsible for Roman's death. He's directly responsible, not in the way that it happens in the film, for the brothers and all that kind of stuff, which segues into the rest of the books, where he's kind of has to be brought along to do, because he's got a talent for doing bad things. Like, they track him down and they make him like do stuff for them, like because he stole the money. But I think he's more lighthearted in this, and like there's not as much of a kind of a descent into darkness as what the whole kind of series is really about. How he starts off as an alcoholic but an overall decent guy, and then it just kind of descends from there.
I think maybe that is a really interesting point, because then I think that really focuses on what my problem is that he's too passive in this film because of that too. So not only do I have this tonal expectation, which again I appreciate isn't fair, but then B, there's that problem where he is a passenger throughout the bulk of this film for the most part. All these things are happening to him. And I wonder if I would have enjoyed it more if I had seen the original, air quotes, version of this story adapted into film. I think I may have enjoyed it more than I did. I do love a great little revenge film. So if that's what more the book feels like, I think maybe I'm missing out then. Because again, it just felt dark, but then all the same time, oddly pedestrian. Right? Like a copy of a film I've seen before. And I wondered, like, would this have been in better hands with like a Soderbergh or a Scorsese? This kind of gritty, kind of New York crime revenge film, I think could have been handled a little more deftly than I think it was by Aronofsky. And maybe part of it's the changes that Houston made. I don't know. But as a cohesive whole, it didn't really work for me. And
Yeah, I think one of the big, like I said, one of the big complaints I have with the film is that Hank, like all of the things that happen to kind of clear obstacles out of Hank's path are not really his doing. They're just more like coincidences and like just luck that just happened to him. Like somebody else takes care of it kind of thing. Whereas there's a little bit of that in the book, but he's much more of an active participant in all this stuff. So, but at the same time, this is, not a movie that I haven't seen, Aronofsky do, and overall, and I probably got some rose-colored glasses, I still had a good time with it.
I'm glad you enjoyed it. I know you were looking forward to it, so that warms my mostly cold, dead heart, so I think that's great. And I'm always up for D'Onofrio, mostly in anything, what he decides to do, right? And him and Schreiber doing the Drucker Brothers, again, which appears in the trailer to look like it's very going to be kind of fun type thing, which it's has kind of its moments. I just don't think Aronofsky does a good job balancing the humor with the darkness, and then again the passivity of Butler's character too. I just struggled with Matt. I'm sitting at a C+ for Caught Stealing.
Are you? All right. Yeah, I'm gonna give it a B+. That's probably my influence of how much I like the book, but yeah, that's what I'm giving it.
If you had a chance to see Caught Stealing, it is currently in theaters. We'd love to hear from you, as always. Shoot us an email at feedback@thefirstrun.com. I really like Griffin Dunn as Paul, his boss at the bar.
Oh, yeah.
That was probably one of my favorite performances. I always liked Griffin Dunn, so that was a good time. Everybody's thinking about that guy's career, too. American Werewolf in London, right? All the stuff he's been in. So, yeah, good times. Good times. Matt, I guess we'll just skip right on over then to Toxie and talk about Macon Blair's Toxic Avenger reboot.
Speak to an agent.
Got it. If you are a provider, press 1.
No, speak to an agent.
Okay. If you are a patient, press 2.
Speak to an agent.
Got it. If you are a provider, press 1.
Speak to an agent.
Hi, Mr. Goose.
Hi.
Okay, I see you're on the Platinum plan with your BTH employee coverage.
That is me. Platinum.
Yes. Which excludes benefits covered
What?
under the Gold plan.
I am Platinum.
Yeah, you have Platinum. But like I said, only treatments listed on the primary tier are covered. Secondary tier treatments are covered, but not if you didn't qualify for the Admiral's plan, unless you selected a co-tier.
I don't know what that means. What does that mean?
You have Platinum.
Doesn't Platinum cover the Gold?
Oh, hon, I'm talking about tiers.
I don't know what tiers are.
Ah, boy. Good old Toxie. Peter Dinklage plays Winston Goose. Things are slightly tweaked here from the original Toxic Avenger. If you're not familiar, well, let me ask you, Matt, have you seen Toxic Avenger? Or at least any of the... I've
only seen the first one like many, many, many years ago.
Same. I think I rented it at a video store like in the late 80s. And I've seen only Troma films I confess I think I've seen are Toxic Avenger and then Terra Firma, I believe, are the only two I've ever seen. Have you ventured outside of like Class of Nuke High, Romeo and Juliet?
No.
Sergeant Kabuki Man?
No, Troma's not really my thing. I respect it for what it is, and I respect that it's got its fans, but it's not really my thing.
So the lead main guy in Troma, Lloyd Kaufman, said that Macon Blair may know more about Troma than even he does. He's a massive, massive fan, and seems to have been the perfect person to help update and bring the Toxic Avenger into the current times. Blair wrote and directed this. If you're not familiar with Macon Blair, he basically got his start working with Jeremy Saulnier on Murder Party, Blue Ruin, Green Room. And this is his directorial debut, I think. No, he did I Don't Feel at Home in This World Anymore, Forgive Me, which is a pretty interesting film with Elijah Wood and Melanie Linsky. We actually did it for the show when it came out back in 2017. So this is his second feature. He's also doing another film now working on called The Shitheads, which I'm assuming is some type of holiday extravaganza. So Toxic Avenger, Peter Dinklage plays, as I said, Winston Goose. He is a janitor at what's the name of the company? Why am I blanking on the company? THC or something like that? What the hell's it called?
BHT.
BHT?
Yeah.
That's right. Because it was a behavioral health technology or something like that?
Something like that, yeah.
Anyway, he has a terminal brain issue and he's going to die. That's actually a clip you heard there. He's trying to speak with his life insurance or his insurance about it. And he ends up, when he can't pay for the medication, the experimental medication that he would help him save his life potentially, he decides to break in and rob his company to pay for it. And then things go horribly wrong. He gets dumped in a bunch of toxic sludge and mutates into the Toxic Avenger and becomes the hero of Tromaville there, and goes up against the corporation and the bad guys and da-da-da-da-da-da. Kevin Bacon shows as the head of the company, which is fun. Taylor Page of Zola fame shows up in this as well. Jacob Tremblay plays Dinklage's son, Wade, and then Luisa Guerrero actually plays the Toxic Avenger. She is the one in the suit once he mutates. That is no longer Dinklage. He is just voicing the character at that point.
Okay. Interesting.
Matt, what are your thoughts on Toxic Avenger 2020? I guess 3, technically. I think it premiered at, was it Fright Fest, I think? I can't remember. Back in 2023, and has been sitting on a shelf ever since. I will confess, I saw the original, like I said, in the mid to late 80s. I don't really remember much about it.
Right.
I remember him falling into the barrel, I believe, getting picked on. The tutu. I remember the swimming pool scene. I remember the robbery at the taco stand, which they, for the Stinger folks, for a classic line from that, and some other stuff, but it's a little fuzzy.
Yeah. So is it weird to say that I don't feel like this thing is over the top enough? Like, I feel like it takes itself a little too seriously, if that makes any sense. Like, it doesn't have the kind of campy charm, I guess, of the first one, because it's so, or the original, I should say, because the original is so poorly done. It's so amateurish, I guess. So
how dare you?
Yeah, how dare I? Yes. You know what? Hey, more power to him. It's more than I've ever done. So that's absolutely fine. But I think that gives it a certain degree of charm, whereas this one seems to be lacking that to me. Like, it's not. There are some decent gore effects. There are some things that are pretty gross, but I don't know, man. Dinklage is notorious for not being a good voiceover actor. Like, he's just not good at it. And I don't know. I wanted it to be more over the top, a little more silly, a little more campy, a little more gory. And I just wasn't getting any of that.
That's interesting, Matt. I really enjoyed this. When this ended, I'm like, I'm happy that I live in a world that allows a film like this to exist, to be created. I'm not a Troma expert. I'm not going to say, is it lovingly homage? Is it, honor the original? In fact, there's a weird thing, like on Reddit, I was reading the people who watched it, and a lot of people saying this is a perfect homage to the original film and to Troma. It gets everything right. And then people saying, as a Troma fan, this was a disaster. This was an insult. This has nothing to do, So it's like, yeah, you can't please anybody, I guess. But I found it delightful in its gore and its insanity. I found it very funny at times. I thought it was just plain odd. I enjoyed how politically relevant it was as well. I thought Dinklage was great in this, particularly in the beginning when he's actually Peter Dinklage. I will, I guess, give you a little bit. I think you may be right about the voice acting stuff once Guerrero takes over. But I think it's campy and over the top enough. I don't know if it needed to go much further than it did. I also continue to absolutely adore Elijah Wood's career arc. All the stuff that he's been doing. I think for me, it started with Maniac, the reboot of that, which is a film I think is really, really good. And he just continues doing these weird, kind of crazy horror films. So just disturbing movies. And I don't know, Matt. I had a lot of fun with this. I think it's basically everything I hoped it would be.
Okay. Yeah. You know what? Thank you, Lord of the Rings, for giving Elijah Wood the money that he can, the residuals he needs to be able to do whatever project he wants, right? I'm glad you liked it, Chris. I don't know. It just wasn't, I was just a little bored with it for a good portion of it, right? I just wasn't on board. I wanted to be, but I just wasn't.
It makes me sad. Did you have a packed theater like me? I should clarify, I was the only one in the theater.
Yeah, I was the only one there too.
Which is disappointing because you know what they're doing? They're like taking a portion, I think maybe even half, I'm not sure, of the proceeds to pay off medical debt for people.
No.
I think they paid off like $5 million in medical debt for people.
Wow, that's great. That's
really I know
nice.
they used the marketing budget. They used that to pay off medical debt.
Okay.
Which, listen, folks, go see the movie. You know, I think that at least you got to support that. There were two young kids, a young couple that came in about 10 minutes into the film and they left 20 minutes later. They're probably just theater hopping and wondering what in God's name have I gotten myself into. I always feel bad too because my humor, not just irreverent, is also just weird. And I let out quite a few of my patented ha's, my loud single ha's throughout this. And I think that may have driven them out of the theater as well.
So you drove them away, huh?
Thankfully. Yeah, I was kind of glad that I did. Were you there early enough for the trailers? Because one other thing I really appreciated about this is all the trailers in front of this were all like independent, smaller horror films.
Oh, were they? Yeah. No, I showed up, basically right when it was starting.
Fair enough. I enjoyed that. I thought that was a fun little thing. And did you stay through the end credits to get Toxie's grilled cheese recipe?
I did not. No, I missed that.
The key part of it, as he says, is you have to butter both sides right before you put it in the pan. But what he likes to do, different kinds of cheese, but he puts cheese on the outside of the bread after you've done that first toast, and you put it in, and it gives it a nice little pop when you bite into it. It makes really... so you may want to try that next time you make a grilled cheese. I, as a vegan, will not be making a grilled cheese anytime soon. So there you go, Matt. What are you going to give Toxic Avenger?
I think I'm going to give it a C.
C, huh?
Yeah.
I'm sitting on a B+. We're almost exact opposites.
Yeah, we are. Almost. Look at us.
And I confess, I mean, Matt, I don't know. Maybe he's right a little bit. Maybe it could have been a little cornier. We did get some... gratuitous nudity of both women and men, which I think you got to do with a Troma film,
right?
But it worked for me. I'm not going to back away. I'm not going to back down. Toxic Avenger was fun. I will be picking this up. I can't wait for the inevitable 4K release that I'll have like a glow in the dark steel book, or maybe it'll be like that Ichi the Killer DVD release back in the day that actually had like a blood bag in the front of it.
Oh, really?
They had like liquid blood in it at all.
Yeah.
The color of mine faded out a long time ago. Now it's just like a clear liquid. If there's anything even left in there, it's probably all evaporated. So, and also too, unrated. Toxic Avenger unrated.
Mm-hmm.
I think you could have gotten away with an R on this. Part of me thinks that was more of a marketing thing.
I'm sure it was. Yeah, that's all unrated really is.
Yeah. So, I mean, there's a couple penis gags in this.
Yeah, there's one pee-pee gag.
Critics tend to get really, even Matt is uncomfortable with it, get really upset involving the male member for some reason. I'm not quite sure why.
I mean, I guess in this one I would hesitate to call, at least the one that's sticking out of my mind, is actually a member as much as a deformed dildo that they used to pee on themselves with.
They did do a guy doing a little helicopter swing at one point too.
That's true. Yes, very true.
So, and there's no gratuitous sex in this either. It's just violence, which the MPA seems to really not have much of a problem with. So,
right.
Yeah. There probably was just marketing. Fine, good, great, grand. Toxic Avenger, currently in theaters, but I don't know for how long. You better run out there and see it while you can. Feedback at thefirstrun.com. We'd love to hear your thoughts. Matt, what's coming up next week on The Big Shoe?
We're going to check out the thankfully last entry in the Conjuring universe, The Conjuring Last Rites.
So let's look at that up. I want to look at that real fast. And maybe we can do the next. Oh no, we cut final segments. I forgot. I'm curious how you would rank all of these, because it's...
Well, we're only doing one film, so we can do a quick ranking.
All right, yeah, that's fine. Are we only doing one? Is there anything else coming out? I think there's more stuff coming out. Well, there's stuff we still need to see. Like, we still got to see Together. I want you to... I saw... what else? Doesn't matter. I do... Go ahead.
Well, I was just going to say, it's the only thing on the calendar right now, so...
I don't know if there's anything theatrical. Oh, I thought there was something, but it doesn't matter. Have you watched season 2 of Andor yet?
Oh yeah. I watched it when it came out.
Oh, okay. I just finished it, so I may have some thoughts on that next week too.
Okay.
You're welcome to step in and share. Oh, Downton Abbey, the grand finale. That's what we're doing for sure.
Oh, yes. So I'm a huge...
Listen to me, Downtown Abbey.
Downtown Abbey.
That should tell you right now.
Yeah, that should tell you everything you need to know, folks. Man, that last episode of Andor, isn't it good? It's crazy good.
I'll just tell you right now, Matt. It's my week to edit. I'll just tell you right now. You can tell me what you think.
Yeah.
First off, probably top 3 Star Wars property for me.
Yeah, I agree.
The most interesting, relevant, and entertaining tale of the rise of fascism on a television show I've ever watched.
Yeah.
And also, finally, at my advanced age, seeing Star Wars truly grow up with me. Right? Seeing an adult version of a story in Star Wars. Now, Rogue One is very good, and it also has its dark ending and all that, and it's good. But this, over 2 seasons, I lament the fact that they're not going to do the 5 seasons. And I guess Gilroy said it'd be impossible to do the story they wanted to tell, just the cost.
Yeah.
Everything they'd have to do. It's just not physically possible.
Right.
Which is sad.
It is.
Having 4 seasons, right? Condensed into 1.
Yeah.
Because originally they wanted to do 5. They just did 2. The first season's very good. But this second season, as a Star Wars fan, it's one of the best things that's ever come out of the franchise. And I cannot praise it enough. If you have not watched it, it is worth the Disney Plus subscription to check it out. It's just very smart, very heady, very interesting, looks fantastic, great performances from top to bottom, and I absolutely loved it.
Yeah. Yeah, it is great. It is absolutely great.
So, check it out, folks, if you haven't seen it yet. Now I'm going to move on to the Alien Earth, or On Earth, or whatever it is.
2 episodes in. 2 episodes? Maybe 3. But it's I'm enjoying it so far.
Cool. All right, that'll be next. All right, folks, that's it. Check us out at Instagram, Facebook, YouTube. I'm on Blue Sky. And, search for the first run. Scroll. Eventually you'll find us. Head over to Apple Podcasts. You can give us a review to help people find the show. And you go to thefirstrun.com. You can find archives of all the old shows. There's a little player there. Just hit play, walk away, and you can just listen to the show for the rest of the day. And the report cards there and more. And I guess that will be that, Matt. So let's go ahead, take an extended break. We love you all very much. Please take care of yourselves, and we will see you soon.
All right, everybody, drop your tacos or I'll blow your brains out.